Hello everyone, here we are. It is CraftAlong today. This is a monthly event that I do with a different theme each month. So today we're going to be doing Lattice Cards, and I really am happy that you're here to join me. We have a great crowd here already. Thanks everyone for joining us. Hey Jen, hi Marty, how are you? We have Janine, we have both Janines here I see. Margaret, hello, how are you? And Maureen is here as well. We have Roz. Hey, Roz. We have Sheila. Goodness me, people here from everywhere. Janine. And we've got both Janines here today. We tend to have a couple, it's not good enough to have one person with one name, right? We have several of a couple of Margarets, two at least every live, and a couple of Janines most lives. But that's awesome. There's sometimes even another Linda. Hey Marie, how are you? Marie, I saw that you sent me an email and I thought I had replied ages ago and it popped up again in my I don't think I sent it to you. We need to talk. I'm so sorry. I thought I had sent it. I think there's only one Solvega, right? Solvega. And there's probably only one Maria as well. I don't know if she's here yet today though. Oh no, Leslie, that's no good. That's no good. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that he's back in hospital. That's no good. That's not what we wanted, right? Well, I'm going to be doing some crafting today, and crafting is a great way to get all those other stressful things out of our heads. Not completely, because of course it's not that normally. Although, you know what it is, sometimes when I'm crafting, I do forget everything else, and it's really nice for that period of time just to relax and get into that creative process, right? They are all good names, right? Yes. Some names, I guess that's when we were kids, we thought our names were normal, and I'm sure the previous generation was probably thinking we had weird names, you know. So that's how it goes. Hey Marilyn, nice to see you. Oh, well there you go. The first today. Good to hear. I wonder where your comment went. Sorry about that. Don't know. I don't know how YouTube and Facebook work sometimes. I really don't know. Yep. We're all thinking of you, Leslie. Lots of people chiming in the comments. I hope that I hope you get some good news soon. That would be really nice. Yeah, my dad is still doing better. I spoke to him yesterday, and his wife too, and he's not got the go ahead to come home yet, so he's still there, still in hospital. We were hoping he might have been home, but I'm not sure how long he's going to be there. So it's up to the doctor to give him the okay. But he has stayed better since he started to get better last Friday. We were hopeful, and then by Saturday we were very hopeful because he was doing so good. So yeah, you're very welcome, Leslie. Yeah, lots of prayers there in the group for you. All right, so with our CraftAlong Lattice cards, I have a whole bunch of cards to show you, but we are going to be creating one card together. Yes, it is good, Marty. Thank you. Thanks for asking, by the way, too. Judy was the one who asked, so thank you very much, Judy. All right, I'm going to switch over and you're going to see what we're making. If you have received a supply pack in the mail from me, you should have received it in the last few days, and that supply pack was sent to you because you placed an order with me in October. So what happens is whenever we have in any given month, okay, I look at the end of the month at everyone who's ordered and I put their names down to send them a craft pack to make the next craft along with me. So the November CraftAlong, this one today, is all the people who have supply packs are people who ordered $60 or more with me in the month of October. If you have ordered $60 or more with me in the month of November, then you will get the pack to make the December CraftAlong. That's how it works. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm always kind of working a month ahead, if you like. We're always looking at the next month to send those packs to. So if you ever wanted to get a pack from me and you're in Australia and you don't have a demonstrator that you already work with, you're very welcome to shop with me, and then that will qualify you. Any order of $60 or more will qualify you for a CraftAlong pack the following month. Okay. All right. I know. I feel the same way, Judy. I know. These are. It's who knew that. And I kind of have, even as awful as it was, I have COVID to thank, because it was COVID when we all got stuck at home and locked down and we couldn't go anywhere and I thought my business was going to fail, that's when I made the decision to start going live. First of all, once a week, then second, twice a week. Now it's 3 times a week. And that was a way of reaching everybody out, reaching other people and building that community. And I never really thought about what that would mean and how precious all these friends would be to me. So I'm so grateful for that. It's a wonderful, wonderful community. And if you're looking for a great group of girls to hang out with, this is a fantastic group. Oh, hey, Cherie's here as well. I didn't see your name pop up, Cherie, but Marty's saying hi to you. So you must have commented somewhere and someone must know that you're here. I just missed the comment. Sorry. Okie dokie. All right, so let's switch over to the desk and look and see what we have today. All right, I did mention to you that we would have lattice cards. And you have, if you've received a supply pack from me, this is what it looks like. So it's a little pack of goodies. And this is what we're making. Now, I've actually got 2 alternatives today, and I'm going to let you choose which one you would like to do. Or if you're not crafting along, I'd love to know in the comments which one you like the idea of. Okay, so this is the first basic card. This is the one I started with. And you'll see it's got some oranges. This is from the Mediterranean Blooms DSP, and I love this paper. All the citrus and the blue and whites. I just think it's really lovely. Okay, so, oh, Cherie was here at the beginning. I must have missed that. Sorry about that. I know, exactly, Roz. That's so true. So I'm going to put your comment on the screen because this is, I wholeheartedly believe this. Okay, let me just pop it. Where is it? There you go. One of the best things about Stampin' Up and crafting online is all the cyber friendships I've made all over. I know. This is it. This is how this works. So, I guess we'll let you have some lunch, Cherie. In fact, I haven't had my lunch yet. So as soon as this is finished, I'm going to be heading to go and get myself something to eat because I'm getting hungry. But what's really nice, I have a little bit of a special treat. A very dear old friend of mine. When I say old, I don't mean that she's old because she's younger than me, but we've known each other since my first job in Sydney when I was 21 was when I met her. We've been friends since we worked together all those years ago. We travelled across Canada together. We've done lots and lots of holidaying and lots of fun over the years together. And I haven't seen her in a couple of years now. She doesn't live anywhere near me anymore. She lives far north New South Wales, up near the Queensland border. So I don't get to see her very often. And you know, she's coming by because her mum's been in hospital too, and she's coming by today after driving down to visit her mum, and then she's going back this afternoon. So she's coming by here, and we're going to try and catch up for a coffee. So I'm looking forward to it very much. Hey, Daryl, nice to see you. Lani's here. Hello. Don't ever worry about being late. Yes, tomorrow is Thanksgiving in the US. Well, if I was to say, maybe that's a fun thing for us to do. In the comments, I would like you to tell me something that you are thankful for. And my first thing I'm thankful for is being part of a fantastic community of crafters. I am so thankful for that. It really, oh, hang on a second. I've just gone out of the studio and I don't know if I can get back in. Let me just see. Can you guys still hear me? Oh, I don't know what happened there. What happened? There we go. Are we back? I'm so sorry. Now I've got to get to Roz's comment to try and delete it. Hang on a second. There it is. Here we go. Hiding that now. All right. So that's what I'm grateful for. So I'd love it if you put in the comments what you are grateful for, as Thanksgiving is the tomorrow in the US. You can hear? Okay, we lost the picture for a moment. Okay, well, I guess it's more important that you can hear me than anything, right? All right, so this is our card today. It is a very simple card, and you can see I've got some lattice work going on here, and that's created just with some strips of paper, and I'm going to show you how to do it, okay? It looks fancy, but it's actually not that hard. It's pretty easy. And so these are the 3 oranges. This is from the Mediterranean Blooms paper. I'm going to show it to you so you can see where I've been cutting oranges out of this, okay? But what is nice about these is that these actually match up with the Citrus Blooms dies, which means that you can cut them out. Hang on, do I have the Citrus Blooms dies handy? Let me just have a look. If I do, I'm not sure if I have them handy or not. So, because I had them out, and I don't know if they're still around. maybe not. Maybe I put them aside. Hang on. Maybe. Ah, yay, here they are. Okay, so this is the Citrus Blooms stamp set, and this is the matching die set. So the dies cut out some of the images. See this one with the single orange and also this one with the 3 oranges. But you'll notice in the paper, here we have the single orange and here we have the 3 oranges. So the dies match the paper as well as the stamps, right? Oh, I'm loving all the comments. Oh, that's a good thing to be thankful for, Leslie. I'm glad of that too. You're thankful that demonstrators like me share our love of crafting. We do, and we love to do it too. I'm thankful that I get to do it. What a great, fantastic job I have. Grateful to be here. I know, to have technology to connect with friends. I'm not going to be able to read through all these, but there's some fantastic things that people are grateful for all the wonderful people you've met through Stampin' Up. I know, right? Oh, congratulations, Kay. You've got an anniversary tomorrow. 49 years. That's doing something right, really. I mean, unfortunately for me, I didn't get – I was married – I've been married twice, so I'm never going to hit 49 years. I would have to be – well, I guess it's possible, but we would both have to be living to about 100 for me to make 49 years. So that would be a bit scary because I was almost 50 when I got married for the second time. So actually, was I almost 50? Hang on. I was 50. I was almost 51. All right. So you can see that this die matches, and that's what cuts out the images. And in the packs that I've sent out today, you've all got one of these ones with the 3 oranges. Okay. So you can see this paper is divine. So one side's got the citrus and then the other side has the blue and white. And it reminds me of like sitting out. It reminds me of a very specific memory. It reminds me of sitting in an outdoor, like an arbor in a winery in Italy. I know it sounds really posh me saying this, but this was a Stampin' Up trip that I got to go on a few years ago. And I'm so lucky. I'm so thankful that I was able to be part of that. And we got to sit there and we had pasta and wine sitting it was on the slopes of Mount Vesuvius. And then silly, after that, we walked up Mount Vesuvius. We should have done it the other way around. We should have walked up first and then sat down and enjoyed our lunch because we were all full of pasta and wine when we were walking up the hill. So not so great. So you can see how nice these are. It does remind me of that beautiful blue and white crockery that they would serve in that situation. And that's actually what they did serve. We did have lovely blue and white pottery to eat all of our food off and to drink our wine out of jugs made with that. And then there's some more lemons here. And I love this one with the little tiny flowers. Can you see the little flowers? Aren't they cute? And then this one's really nice. I haven't used that one very much. I really should, right? And then we have so these to me look like crockery, these ones. Anybody else? Do you think they look like crockery? There aren't dies to match the lemons, but some of you may have seen a couple of weeks ago I cut out one of the lemons. I really like those too. And then this is just lots of oranges, but I like the pattern on the back. So it's just like a blue and white. You can almost seems like a little fleur-de-lis kind of pattern there. Super nice. All right, so that's this beautiful paper, and it is in the annual catalogue, and it is, it's available until the catalogue ends at the end of next April. So you'll be able to get it for a while yet if you love this paper as much as I do. All right, so this was card number 1, and you can see it's a vertically cut piece. Okay, I've got a mark there. Let me just get that with my adhesive remover. Oh, no, it's actually looks like an ink spot, so I won't get that with my adhesive remover. Now, something I did notice when I was gluing these down, I got a little bit of glue on top, and that's why I have my adhesive remover out. If you happen to get any glue bits when you're sticking your lattice down, use an adhesive remover. If you don't have an adhesive remover, we used to sell these once upon a time, but we haven't for a long time. But you can get them at like any craft store, like Spotlight. You might even find them occasionally at a like a news agency or something like that. But they're just like this little rubber, and mine has seen better days. Look at it. Goodness me, I don't want you to see that because it's looking a bit sad, but it's pretty cool. Now this is the other alternate design. Okay, now I would probably, for this one, you guys would have all the pieces for it if you have it, and so instead of a 1 orange, you would actually put the 2 oranges on, but this one has a flap. Okay, so that's a flat piece that goes like so, and then you have a greeting or something under that. Okay, so that is an alternate. You can have either one. What do you think? Do you like the one with the flap, or do you just like it stuck straight on? I know which one I like the best. And you might be surprised. Oh, you got one from eBay. That's a great idea, Leslie. Good idea. Didn't think of that. Amazon probably have them too. It's actually a really easy design, Daryl. Really easy. Am I saying, is that correct? It is Daryl I'm speaking to, yes? You said you like the lattice work design. So, all right. So I'm going to be making this card, and then I will show you how to do the flap if you like the flap. You like both? Yeah, I like both too. Let's pull our pieces out of the bags for those of you who have the bags. And if you don't, I did put the basic measurements for the pieces on my blog a few days ago. So I always do that. I put a blog post up the week before, usually, you know, or some days before, so that if anyone is cutting their own pieces, they have everything they need to do that. So let's see. We've got a vertically cut. So this is a full sheet of A4 cut in half vertically. Same with US letter. You just cut it in half vertically. Okay, and that piece, I've used a bone folder to fold over that edge. If it's not sitting flat, just burnish it down so it will sit flat for you. And then we also have a piece of the Mediterranean Blooms paper, the one with the little flowers on it. I like this one. Inexpensively. That's great. Oh, it's dollar store. Exactly. That sort of place would also be good. You can decide later, Marty. That's fine. So this piece is going to end up down here on our white piece, okay? And then we have this little piece here that you'll see has a score line in it. I don't know if you can see the score line. Can you see the score line? Okay, that one is if you decide to do the flap. This is the piece that you would need to use. That's the piece of flap. And then the circle also is if you decide to use the flap. Okay, so you'll need these 2 pieces if you decide to do that. But if you decide you're just making it with the with these just stuck straight down, you won't need those 2 pieces. You can save them from something else. There's also some little opal rounds. These are also part of the Mediterranean Bloom suite that comes along with this in the annual catalogue. I have a small banner from the Stylish Shapes dies, and that is actually going to be, actually I probably should put these 2 aside because those are not part of this unless we do the flap. Then we have the oranges. And if your oranges haven't got all the pieces pulled out, like you can see mine don't, you just grab yourself a take your pick tool or something sharp and just poke those pieces out, okay? And so those are going to sit right there. And then we have our 6 strips, okay? Now, if you don't have 6, if something happened and I didn't put the right number in, is this the right? Yeah, this is 6. It didn't look like 6, but it is, okay? If you find you don't have enough, these are measured at 1 centimeter wide by 21 centimeters long. So it's actually the full width of a piece of A4 cardstock, just cut at 1 centimeter strips. So if you were doing this in inches, your strips would be the width of your paper. So what's that? 8.5, yeah, by, or is that not right? Hang on, no, what am I saying? 5.5 is what I'm saying, 5.5, and it's around about, it's just under, it's about 3/8 of an inch. So it's a bit less than half an inch. So just to give you an idea, I mean, you can make them thicker, but I kind of liked, I thought this width worked really well on this card. So you love this suite. I know. I love it too. I've loved it since the second I saw it and went, I have to have that. It was in my very first order from this annual catalogue. And you know what? Sometimes I think when we're creating so many beautiful things with all the new catalogues, you know, we have a new catalogue coming out in January. We have a current holiday catalogue, or what's it called? September to December catalogue. That's all got beautiful stuff. And I find that the annual catalogue tends to get a little bit forgotten. And it's really nice to drag some of those sets out and use them again, because they really do get a little bit lost with all of the other wonderful product we have. I'm going to start by putting this 8 centimeter by 12 centimeter rectangle. I'm going to line it up so it's right in the middle of my card front, and I'm going to glue it straight down. Okay, so let's grab some, doesn't matter what glue you use. I'm using Tombow multi-purpose glue, but you can use whatever you like. So let's go and get that piece stuck down. Who's crafting along with me today and who's just watching? Yeah, most rulers do have both now. I think it'd be silly not to, right? I know all ours do. Right, so I'm centering that as best I can. So it's the same distance from this side and from the top and the bottom. And let's just push it down. That's ready to go. All right, set that aside for a moment. Then we're going to do our lattice. All right, so this is actually very, very easy to do. But to make it easier for yourself, can I suggest that you use a silicone mat underneath? Okay, you're just watching. Barbara's just watching. Leslie's watching. Anyone crafting? Oh, Marie's crafting. Good. Yay. It's just you and me, Marie, I think. Exactly. You need to use them and get your money's worth. That's exactly right. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting these down so that they make a lattice pattern. All right, so I'm going to put them. Now, if you look very closely, when you cut, I might be able to show you this. Okay, when you cut, can you just see when the cut edge is slightly, like it's slightly risen there at the end? That is the back, because the front, the side that you cut from, doesn't have that. It doesn't really matter. But I do usually try and use, I'm going to be putting this so it's the top side face down, okay? And so the back of the paper is going to be facing up. You don't have the oranges. Ah, I love the oranges. Remember a few weeks ago we used these on the scrapbook page, and that's when I think, Cherie, you told me that the oranges are very, is like one the main fruit that they export from Mexico, because it was a Mexico scrapbook page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these down, and you're going to put them, it's up to you how far apart you put them, but I made mine are about 1 centimeter, and then I had about the same distance, so another centimeter in between each layer. Okay, so I'm going to put these down, 3 of them like this. I'm going to have around, they're going to be parallel to each other, and we're going to have them around about the same distance in between as the white strips themselves. All right, and then I'm going to have 3 going the other way. However, I wanted to make them look a little bit woven. It won't matter too much because I've actually got these like woven one on top of the other, but you don't actually see a lot of it because a lot of it is covered up by the oranges. But this is what we're doing. So I'm going to have this one going underneath the middle one, but on top of the 2. And it's up to you where you have these, like if you want to have so that this piece is right in the center. I actually didn't try and center mine. I've got them, it's slightly off to one side because I thought that kind of made it more interesting. So you can see there's a bigger gap here than we have here because they're actually moved slightly over to one side. Does everyone see what I mean? Ooh, because you're getting ready for Thanksgiving, right, Roz? Oh, that's cool. You're going to make some lattice cards over the weekend. I hope you do. Yeah. The world's largest exporters of oranges, and I never knew that, right? So that was actually really cool that I chose to put those on the scrapbook page. All right, so I'm going to have this one. So this one is woven one way, and then this one is going to weave the other way. All right, so it doesn't matter if they shift around because we can come back and adjust them. Okay, they're nothing's stuck down yet. All right, but can you see that I've got this one over the top of here, under here, over here. This one is under, over, under. So we're kind of weaving them or giving a woven look. Does that make sense to everybody what we're doing? And then this one is going to be the same as the first one. So it's going to be on top of this one, but then it's going to be under that one and on top of that one. So you might need to fiddle around with it a little bit. Sorry, Marie. I hope it's not too scary. It's a little bit of jiggling around, but working on the silicone mat, I think, makes it easier. And you'll see why. The nice thing about a silicone mat, and the reason I use it, is because glue doesn't stick to your silicone mat. So when we start working with glues and things, it's not going to matter. And also I can move this wherever I want on the desk. So you're going to get yourself some dimensionals. You can use big dimensionals or you can use small dimensionals. It doesn't really matter as long as they are hidden behind these. Okay, now I want to make sure that these are as straight as I can get them. So just eyeball it, and I can see that those are all looking pretty straight. I might start with a couple of these just so you can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the middle here, but over the join. Okay, and that's going to hold it in place. And I'm going to do this one, and we're going to go over, whoop, try and hold it straight. And then that one's going to go over that join. And then this one's going to go over this join. So you just want to make sure that they're not peeking out. And we need to get a couple on each one. I'm going to keep my finger here just to hold it down. So you are going to be using a few dimensionals, because in this case, the dimensionals are, their job is to keep everything in place. Not just to give it dimension, but to actually hold it in place. Can you see what I'm doing there? So now this is becoming a lot more stable, okay? And I'm now got one in each, almost, in each join. Okay, and it's quite stable now. You guys all talking about pies and things. Thanks, Judy. Appreciate that. Oh, thanks, Elaine. I'm really glad you like it. All right. You would have got one of these packs, didn't you? So you're going to come back and do it later. All right. So now you can turn it over, because it's all like a solid piece now. Yeah. And then we're almost ready to put it onto our card. And this is where we get to decide where we want it to be, because you can move it around. You can have it at the bottom and stuff going on up the top. You can have it off to one side. You can have it wherever you like, basically. I think this is really great, because now these are long enough that you get, you know, you can shift it and decide where you want it to be. Does that make sense? Now, you might notice that this paper that we're using also has a bit of, it's kind of a lattice look on it, right? So it's actually really easy to line this up, and actually you can follow the lines on this paper. So the paper is perfect for this. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come back. I've had a little bit of a look at where this should all go, and I'm going to take the backs off my dimensionals. You might just want to, you know, move your finger along and hold down the lattice work as you take them off. We're doing all kinds of lattice cards with the alternatives for these. I can't wait to show them to you. I really had a lot of fun making this month. I mean, I enjoy CraftAlong every single month, but this month was particularly good. All right, I think I'll go down a little bit. I'd like this to show a little bit more. And then I'm going to push that down, and there we go. It's all done. All right. So are we going to leave it like that? Of course not. Of course we're not going to leave it like that. What I now want to do is, you don't have to do this, but I actually went back in with some mini dimensionals with these guys, and I just realized that one didn't go up high enough. You know what? I'm going to leave it for this exercise. But so what I did was I put a mini dimensional towards the end, and then that one's going to stick just there. And so I glued this in place so they're not going to flap around. Does that make sense what I'm doing? Well, that does sound delicious. Yeah, of course you can make it later. I hope you've had a nice day out wherever you've been. So I'm putting these on just to hold them in place. How's it going, Marie? Am I moving at the right speed for you? Is this okay? Let me know. And is it all making sense? Right, so then, whoop, have to take the back off, otherwise it's not going to stick down. And then this one. So now you can see these ones are now glued in place. I did mess up on this one. I should have been careful to make sure that that was off the edge, but that's okay. I'm not going to go back and do it now, but you get the idea. All right. It's good? Excellent. Okay. I hope it's all making sense. Because, you know, we like things to make sense, don't we? All right. And then I'm going to just do the rest. There's not that many left. A couple more. Right, so now I've got all my pieces in place. I did actually move, I put that one slightly over the edge. I don't want that one there because you can see it. I would like it so it's hidden. All right, so this is where we are going to get our scissors, paper snips or good paper scissors. I'm going to open up my card and I'm going to cut along in line with the card, and I'm going to cut those pieces off. So just butt your scissors up against the card. Whoop. And we're going to go right around the whole thing and get rid of all those sticky out bits. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but you know what I mean, that'll do. Oh, there's a little bit of a dimensional sticking out there. Don't worry about that. You can just cut that off. Okay. So this is how it's looking. Isn't that cool? And I like the fact that the dimensionals give it like a little bit more interest because they create a bit of shadow. So that really makes it look nice. So we're almost at the end of the card if you're going to do just the oranges stuck straight on, because all I did was I put some dimensionals behind them, you know, just a few, maybe 1, 2, and 3, and then took the backs off, and then I stuck that on. Okay, then I stamped, so I'm going to have a stamp either way, and I use the stamp from this set, but you can use any greeting you have. I like this one that says just checking in. I think it's a really useful stamp, and I use it quite a bit. The only thing is, because it's a long skinny stamp, you have to be a little bit careful because it's very, very easy to pick up ink along the long edges. Okay, and I'm using Night of Navy ink for this. I'm glad you like it. Thank you, guys. When I made it, I was like, oh yeah, that's really fun. And I'm always, okay, so here's a good example of what not to do. Do you see how much ink I got on that? When you have a long skinny stamp, it can be really, really hard to ink it up properly. So it's just because of the shape of the stamp. So what I'm going to suggest is that you just go really, really gently, and then when you do that, you don't get any ink around the edges. You can also run your finger over it and double check, make sure you've got that on there. And then I'm going to stand up and get above this, and I'm going to, actually I'll just do it here. There we go. So then we have it stamped well with no overstamping. Long skinny stamps are the worst ones when it comes to overstamping. So, all right. So then that, if this is on dimensionals, those would go right about here. And then these, you can put these on dimensionals as well and pop that down here. Of course, you would need, there's a couple of, oh, sorry, I'm just knocking everything all over the place. I've used some of the gold twisted thread, and that will be in your packs as well. In fact, here's a funny story. Well, it's probably not very funny, but it wasn't funny at the time. I had packaged all these up last week, just after the weekend, to send out. I got them, and when I put them in the boxes that I send them in, like little flat mailing boxes, before I send them, I go through and I sticky tape the boxes closed, because I'm terrified that the boxes are going to come open. They don't feel quite safe enough to me. I'm worried that they're going to come open. So I've, checked that I've got everything in the bags. It's all gone in. I put in the blurb to, tell everyone how it works, when CraftAlong is, all the things. And I sticky taped it all up and put it in the box to go to the post office. And at that point, I realized that I'd forgotten to put in all the pieces of thread. So then I had to I have to cut them all open again and re-sticky tape them all, put in the thread and re-sticky tape them all again. That's a bit of fun. Like I said, not a very funny story if you're me, because that wasn't funny. That took like an extra hour that I really didn't have. So annoying. So there you go. I'm sure you guys have all done things like that. I've got a little knot in this, and I had pulled it the wrong way, and I might just take that off and cut it so that I can worry about that knot later. All right, so all I did with this is about 15 centimeters of this in your packs. I hope yeah, exactly, a bit of fun, not exactly. It's like, now I'm going to open them all up again. And I was trying to get to the post office on time, and, that just made me even running more late than I already was. Oh, gosh. That's my life. That is how it works around here. All right. Okay, so you're just going to tie that. You're going to use whatever scissors you normally use for ribbon scissors. You'll notice I used my paper snips before, and they didn't cut very nicely. So I'm using my ribbon scissors because they're much more reliable. Right, and then that is going to get glue dotted to the stem. No matter which oranges you're doing, whether it's on a flap or not, it's going to get stuck to the stem just like that, okay, with a glue dot. And it's going to either go on with dimensionals like we've just said here, or here's your other option. We have these couple of pieces in your bag. So this is just one of the stylish shaped circles. Oh, I know. It's just one of those things. There's the worst things can happen than that. So I'm just grateful that it could, it wasn't. So far, I have remembered to put things in. Occasionally, I'll leave something out, but I've always remembered and open them up again and put it in before I have to mail them. I'm terrified about the day that I'm going to forget something really important after I mail it. And if that happens, then I just have to send a second pack. That would be very, very annoying. Yeah, exactly. Before I mailed them. Exactly, Marty. That's right. Okay, so there's this little piece, and what you want to do on the fold. So this piece is 10.5 centimeters. Let me double check that. Yep, 10.5 centimeters, and it's 3 centimeters wide. Okay, 3 from one side to the other. And I have scored it at the 3.5 centimeter mark from one end. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to get your bone folder and make sure you get that really, really flat, because the success of a flap is dependent on how flat that is. Okay, and how this is going to work, okay, is this is going to go over here, and we are going to be gluing it underneath here. That is going to sit right there in the center of our card. This then, you're going to put a couple of dimensionals just behind here, and that's going to be here, okay, and it's going to go so, like so, and then it can flap. Actually, let me take, if I do this one with a flap, I did one earlier, but the one I did only has one orange, and I don't think it looks as good with one orange. I think it looks better with 2. Let me see if I can put this on, reuse that one. So if you put them on the end of the flap like this, so let's go ahead and glue. Now you can use any glue you like. If you're using Tombow, you're going to have to wait for it to dry before you use your flap, okay? You would open all the boxes, production style, and then check them only to find out it really was his spare thread. Yeah, I know. Now, I knew I hadn't put them in because I measured them, and I knew they were all 15 centimeters. It was only when I was cleaning up my craft room, which I actually do occasionally, that was when I realized, oh my gosh, I didn't put the thread in. My goodness. So anyway, story of my life. Okay, so if you wanted to use a different glue, you may find it's better, like if I was to use tape or seal, and I'm going to put it right here almost to the score line. You might even want to put, you can put, you know, even 3 bits of tape here. Now this, I'm going to have it, I want it to, the only thing is with this glue, once it's stuck, it's stuck. So I'm just going to, I'm eyeballing it. If you want to measure it, you certainly can. All right, and then we're going to make sure that's well and truly stuck down on the back. All right. So then we've got these 2 bits that this will stick to, like so. All right, so then we have our flap, and you could just leave it like that and have a greeting down the bottom. Now, something I was thinking, if you didn't want it to flap around, you could even make it that your greeting just goes above the tip of that leaf, and that's going to help hold it down like a little, like a latch, you know. But I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals behind this, and you notice we've still got the circle here as well. So I'm going to put my dimensionals right behind my banner. And then I'm going to have that banner just going off to the side there, like that. All right. That little leaf just kind of catches in behind there to hold it flat. We have our little bow with the very important thread that I hope you all use, because if you don't use it, I'll be very cross. Just don't tell me if you don't use it. And that's going to go right across here on that stem, which looks really nice. And the option here is, you don't have to have it, but the option here is if you want to have a greeting. So let's stamp a greeting on here. So I've got a, like from this set, I could have this one that says you're the best kind of person, which is nice. But I also was thinking sketch butterflies. Have I got that? Yes. That one has a very nice thinking of you. We've got a few thinking of yous. There's also Friends for Life has a nice thinking of you as well. And that would go nicely behind here. You know, just checking in, thinking of you. They kind of go together. And I think I like that idea more than you're the best kind of person. Although, you know, that works as well. But I'm going to go thinking of you. Here we go. I'm going to put this on block B or C would be fine. And we're going to do this with Night of Navy ink. And I'm going to pop that right there in the middle of the circle. Now, how are we going to get the circle in the right place? It's actually very simple. So this circle, I want it to be behind my oranges. So what I would do is I would position it so it's just going to go over the edge of the flat piece, but it's now hidden behind the oranges. You can see where it is. Then close your flap, all right, and that's in the right place. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll do that again. You can use, if you want to use dimensionals behind it, you can, but you don't have to. You could just use, like I just realized when I did this. Okay, so that's how that would go. It's going to be right there. So it's going to be, you know, behind these pieces. So I'm actually just going to use Tombow and put this right here behind the circle where it's going to be. It doesn't need to be on dimensionals because it's, you know, the other stuff is already on dimensionals, and right, I'm liking that. And if it's not quite straight with the Tombow, you can straighten it. So that's an advantage of Tombow, is you've got a few seconds to move it before it dries. All right, so that's looking really nice. So there you go. There's your options. You have the basic option, which is just stuck straight onto the base, and this one, which is like a little extra flap here, and you can put that behind that tip of that leaf behind here if you want to hold it down. So which one do we like? What do you think? Do you like both? I mean, the flap is obviously just for decoration. It's not necessary to the card, but it almost makes it into a fun fold card. Almost, don't you think? All right, let me get a couple of these things put away And then I'm going to show you the other cards that are in this series this month. This is how it looked with the, and I don't like it as much with the one lemon. I felt like it needs the 2 lemons, the 3 lemons. I can't count. 3 lemons, don't you think? You like both versions? The card without the flat, yeah, you know what, Leslie, it's mine too. I like them both, but I actually like it best just with the oranges flat down. I don't know why. I just don't think this particular card needs a flap, but I wanted to give you that option in case you liked it. I know some people love, you know, flips and flaps and things that open and shut, and that makes you happy. So if that's you, then you might prefer the one with the flap. Oh, thank you. I agree. It needs the 3 oranges. Yep, this one looks like it's not quite finished. There's something, it needs something else, you know. But I think with the 3 oranges, it looks really great. And everyone in their supply packs did get the 3 oranges. Okay, let's put this to one side. So this is card number 1 today, and I have another 4 designs that I'm going to show you. They are all lattice cards, but different kinds of lattice. So they might not be what you expect, but I really like them. I have made all the videos for these. I'm in the middle of editing the last video, which means that if you would like the tutorials for these, they will be available, I'm hoping tonight. I should go very close to having it done tonight or tomorrow at the latest. Okay, by the time I go live for Friday Night Live tomorrow night, I hope to be able to send you straight to them if you are interested in those tutorials. So this is the first one. Hang on a second. There we go. As you can see, I do a couple of, I usually do a sample and then I do another one when I make the video. Okay, so this one has a window panel. You can see it here. That has a lattice design on it. Okay, the lattice is similar, although I didn't weave this lattice. I just did all the ones one way and then all the ones the other way. And I used the sketch butterflies, but it's a window panel on this card. Okay, so you like it without the flap? Yeah. And then this is the next one. Now this one is actually using, I don't know if anyone has noticed this, but this lattice panel here, that is actually a new product that's coming in our January to April catalog. So this is brand new. It's my first play with it. I did actually, let me see if I've got the other one. I did make a second, well actually I made a first card and this was the second card that I made. Oh, I might not have it handy. But it was I do show it in the video. It's just white on white. But this one I did the gold and I wanted it to look like honeycomb. So, you know, I've got my orange to yellow ombre piece underneath. And if you wouldn't write behind this window. If any writing you do here is going to look silly or not right, it's going to spoil the look of the card. So you could either write down the bottom or around you could write around the edges, or you could write on the back. Ooh, it's got a mark on the back, but let's not look at that. Okay, so that's this one. And I used the Queen Bee set for this because there's a set. It's an online exclusive. It hasn't been used for a while. You like that? Oh, panel, not planet. Yes, I see. So the little bee here, there are no dies for this. It's just a stamp set that we currently have. As of next Tuesday, the 3rd of December, our last chance list is coming out. And I'm interested to see if this stamp set's going to be on it. It wouldn't surprise me if it would. Oh, I forgot to tell you. We have 3, totally forgot about these. We have 3 of these. Some of you will have yellow and some of you will have blue. Okay, these go on here. So silly me, I totally forgot to add these. So maybe I add one here and one here and maybe a little one up the top. There we go. I forgot to use the dots. All right. So this was the second card, the honeycomb lattice card. I'm calling that one. And then this one is also using that same set because I just love it from the January catalog. It'll be available on the 7th of January, or if you're a demonstrator, you can get it now. So this is the next one. Okay. Once again, you can see this beautiful lattice design, and this is the lattice piece. This is the white piece here is the same as this gold piece here, but I've used it totally differently. And I also use the masks that go with this to create this lattice pattern. I did a second one in green. Which one do you like better? This was my first one. And then I did the second one in these colors, which are my favorite colors. So this is the one I make in the video, the tutorial that you can get. Do you like it? So how do the tutorials work? If you received a supply pack from me, you're also going to receive the tutorials. You don't have to purchase them. They're yours. They're on their way. And I will, as soon as I have them finished, hopefully by tomorrow, they'll be in your inbox. Okay. If you're in my team, you also get all these tutorials. If you are overseas or you don't shop with me for whatever reason, then can I just suggest that you might like to purchase these? These are $15 Australian, which is about $10 US, roughly. And I'm really happy with how these turned out. I've got one more to show you, but the tutorials I have written for, or I've actually recorded for these, will be available as of tonight or tomorrow. The last one is this one, and this is a blended lattice card. All right, so I've actually got a couple of those as well. You can see I've mucked around with these, and I did this in Pretty Peacock. So this is, you don't need any special equipment for this card, apart, obviously I've used some dies and a couple of, from a couple of different, this is the Nested Essentials dies, and this is the Around the Bend dies, but you could use any decorations. You could just cut a panel to the piece at the back, the lattice piece, you don't need any special equipment for, except you will need blending brushes. Okay, so that's this month's Craft-Along tutorials. What do we think? Do you like them? Had a lot of fun making these this month. So let me just put out the ones that are in the actual ones that you can get your hands on. As soon as these are ready, they'll go up on my blog with a purchase now button, and you can get those ones. Looks like a puffy quilt. I know, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, I was worried actually that the bee was a little bit big for this card. I feel like maybe I should have used a smaller bee, but it is what it is. That's what I ended up with. But that's this month's cards. These are our lattice cards. Lots and lots of different ways to use different lattice. Well, there are not just one lattice technique. There's lots of different lattice techniques. So, these two are done with strips. This one's acetate. This one's done with a die. This one's done with masks. And this one is masked as well, but masked in a different way. So, so there you go. So there we are. So I was thinking about it. I've used annual catalogue here and here. And then I've used, and this is also annual catalogue. And then I've used this one and this one, which are January catalogues upcoming that you can't get until the 7th of January. But I thought you might like a little sneak peek of what we can do with those right now, because they are fantastic. I'm absolutely loving the lattice. Very, very excited about it. I know, the new lattice die and masks. They're just beautiful, Marie. I love them. Oh, you think the big bee is good? Okay, well, that's good to know. On the video that I recorded for this, I coloured all these in, but then I went back and used a program that when I edited, I sped up the colouring, so you haven't got to sit there for too long and watch me colour. but that sort of thing, helps, I think, make the videos a little bit more watchable. All right, how did we go? We're almost there with our time today. We were a little bit quick today, and I think it's because this card really is very simple. There's not a lot to it. It looks a lot more involved than it actually is, okay? Even with the flap, it's not that involved. So I hope that you're going to give these a try. Any of these cards speak to you and make you think, oh, I'd like to try that? What do you think? Who's going to give lattice cards a try? Thank you. I'm really glad you like them. Yeah, I'm very, very excited about the masks coming out. Super, super excited. I'm reading your comments and having a quick look to see if I've missed anything. All right, so don't forget, if you've ordered in November, or you do so before the 30th of November, then you will receive the Craft-Along pack for December, okay? And I'm actually, having been playing with acetate on a couple of these, like there's an acetate window on this card. You can see it there. And there's also an acetate window on this card. And it's made me think, you can let me know what you think, but it's made me think that I need to do an acetate Craft-Along. So that might be the next one. You'll give it a go, Sheila. Fantastic. That's great. Really, really happy that you guys have enjoyed these today. They were a lot of fun to bring to you. All right. Well, let me switch back over to the face camera. Let me see. Oh, I just realized that the face camera currently isn't switched on. Let me go. That's better. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your company today. It is hot today again, but not as hot as yesterday. I know where everybody else is, but it's meant to storm tonight. And I have a little ginger cat that is going to be very, very upset about that. He is terrified of storms, and so I need to make sure that I'm back in time to be around because it's meant to storm about 5, I think. So the plan is to be here because he'll actually when there's a storm, I have to either wrap him up like a burrito in a blanket and hold on to him, or he will sit in my lap and bury his head in the crook of my elbow. He normally doesn't like to sit on my lap, but when there's a storm, that's the only place he wants to be. So, oh, thank you so much, Leslie. Yeah, we're not going back up this weekend. We've been up the last couple of weekends, but this weekend we think is better enough that we won't go this weekend. But we are due to have family Christmas up there in a couple of weeks anyway. So we'll be heading back up again for that, which will be nice. Oh, you've had a storm down there already, Marie. Yeah, it hasn't come up our way. You must be sending it up to us. So, okay, all right. Well, everyone, thank you so much. Hopefully, I'll see some of you tomorrow night. Friday Night Live it's live at 7:30 p.m. Sydney time on a Friday night, and I'm looking forward to being live. It's sketch night, so who knows what we'll come up with tonight. I'm open to suggestions as to what set you would like me to use. And your family Christmas is this Saturday. Well, I hope it's a wonderful day. I hope you have a really, really great day. All the family together. You'd like to see acetate cards. Good to know, Cindy. Thank you for saying that. Sometimes I put ideas out there in the hope that someone's going to say, oh, yes, I'd like to do that. Or say, no, that's not what I want to do. And I sort of take my cues from you guys a little bit. Next month will be interesting because it's kind of a short month, December, because you kind of got to have everything really done by mid-December. CraftAlong, for me to get CraftAlong and have everything I need to do done before Christmas, that's kind of crazy. So I'm thinking of doing what I did last year, which is making CraftAlong between Christmas and the New Year. That way I'll get everything out early, but that way if anyone's sitting at home between Christmas and New Year, you'll have something you can watch and do in that period. So there you go. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic evening or afternoon or wherever you are, depending on where you are in the world. And I'll see you all again soon. Hopefully tomorrow night. Bye.